Hey guys, it's Ununoctium here from Team Noble, and today I've got a Spellcaster lockdown build. It's my new main deck. It's going to be what I'm going to be using for tournaments now because it's going to be a little bit more of an unexpected deck. It's also run really well since now Cold Wave's been banned. This pretty much locks down your spells and traps, so this will really cripple some new decks. So, yeah, we'll go straight into the build. First we got monsters. We got one Chaos Sorcerer. I know the lighting's terrible, so you probably can't see him, but it's Chaos Sorcerer. He's basically your beat stick. Pretty much you want to create the lockdown and then go out and attack with him. 3 Magicians Valkyria. As long as you have 2 of them on the field, your opponent cannot attack you at all. So it's a pretty good way to lock it. Next we have 3 Old Vindictive Magicians to pretty much just destroy your opponent's monsters and clear your field. Playing an Old Vindictive face down plus your 2 Valkyrias means that your opponent can't destroy your monsters, can't attack you, and also you're able to destroy their monsters faster. Next we have 2 Defenders, because if you need to stall for another turn to get out your next Valkyria, play a Defender. He's got the spell counter to stop the attack for the turn, so pretty good way to make a 1-turn lock. Breaker, Magical Warrior, because he's pretty much going to help destroy some more spells and traps on the field, maybe before you get your lockdown, and it'll also just help get rid of some good spell and traps, so also makes it easier to attack with confidence, so that helps. Next we have 2 Gravekeepers Spy, because she has high defense, and also her flip effect allows you to get out another Gravekeepers monster, so you'll always have a Spellcaster on the field, which is part of the deck's build, and you search out Gravekeepers Guard, mainly because Gravekeepers Guard, once you move him into defense mode, he has 1900 defense. He's pretty good. And if you can play him face down without having to get Spy, you can pretty much hurt your opponent pretty bad that turn. Next we have 1 Crusader of Endymion. He's pretty much a beat stick, and he's a good combination with Defender, because he gives spell counters to Defender, and he gains an extra 600 attack, so he's a better beat stick than Chaos Sorcerer if used correctly. Next we have a Kycoo. Kycoo the Ghost Destroyer. This one's proxied. And pretty much there. Now you can see it better. Pretty much he's there to help remove from play monsters. And he's an 1800 beat stick. So as long as you get some damage to your opponent, you can start removing cards from their graveyard. That's a really good effect. Next we have a Summoner Monk. He's pretty much, because you have a lot of spells in this deck, if you really just want to help get out your Valkyria even faster, you can just play him. His effect automatically throws him into defense mode, and then trash a spell or 2 from your hand, and special summon some Valkyrias, and you can start your lockdown. We have Alchemist Black Spells too, because he's got high defense, and his effect switches him to defense mode to give a spell counter to a card, so he's also good for a Defender. Next we have a proxied Copycat, and Copycat's pretty much to help make it even with your opponent's monsters and everything on the field. So if your opponent has a high level attack monster but just can't get through because you have the lockdown, play a Copycat, then go head on, destroy the monster and Copycat, and then you can attack more. I know that's what I've done before in a duel with this deck, actually. I also did it with my Fiends with Necrofear to Judgment Dragon, and then took control of the other Judgment Dragon the guy had, so it was a pretty cool combination to go head on and take control that way. Next, for spells, we have 3 Magical Dimensions, pretty much to help get rid of useless spellcasters on your side of the field and special summon ones that matter. By that I mean spellcasters that are not Magician's Valkyria, that really are just helping to support until you get your lockdown ready. Now here's the part of the lockdown that really can throw off your opponent. The 3 Secret Village Spellcasters. One's actually here and the other 2 are proxied. Because these, as long as you keep a spellcaster on the field, your opponent can't play spells. So that's really good actually. And if you're not drawing that, or if you just want to make sure you have another one in case your opponent wrecks it, you can throw out your Terraforming and just get that. It makes the deck run a little faster too if you can just search out as many villages as possible first turn. I did that. I had 2 villages in my hand and a Terraforming. I played a Terraform to get the extra one out to thin my deck out a little bit. Next we have Magicians Unite, because Magicians Unite pretty much just makes any spellcaster you have a beat stick for a turn, so that's really good. Book of Moon, because let's say you get bottomless, you can just Book of Moon your card so it stays there, and also you have a lot of flip effect monsters, so that can be really useful. Next we have a Swords Revealing Light, because one, if you're not getting your Valkyria combo, you can pause for 3 turns and just kind of screw over your opponent. So that's always helpful. Next we have Giant Trunade to return all spells and traps to your owner's hands and stuff. It's pretty much in case you're not getting out your lockdown, you can throw this down and then clear the field with Lightning Vortex and then attack directly. It's a pretty cool combo, that is. Next we have a Pot of Avarice. It's pretty much just in case. I use it after I get out Chaos Sorcerer, because there's normally definitely some other spellcasters that that are in the graveyard that I still need for like backup. So that helps if you can recycle them and just draw 2. It's actually helped me out before. I was up against a Gladbeast deck and I played Pot of Avarice, drew out an Old Vindictive and a Valkyria. I played the Old Vindictive down, and then when they attacked it, I destroyed their card and then was able to attack. I destroyed their Murmillo, which was their only monster, and then attacked directly for game. So it was pretty cool. Next we have a Monster Reborn. So yeah, obvious. And next we move on to the very little amount of traps. We have 2 Royal Decrees to lock down your opponent's traps. Although it does lock you down for traps, but that doesn't really matter. If you can play this with the village, you've got a good lockdown there. All your opponent has to rely on is their monsters, and if you can get out of Valkyria, then you've pretty much screwed them up. Next we have 2 Magician Circle. One of them is proxied. I'm sorry about that. It's only because I only bought 1 Spellcaster command deck, so my friend is getting me the other one. He's on Team Noble. I just completely forgot his name right now. I'm kind of blanking. So yeah, this is pretty much to help you before you get Royal Decree, to help get out your Valkyrias faster. It's actually how I got into my Valkyrias this morning during a duel, and then next turn I drew a Decree, play it face down, and then I had a complete lockdown. It was pretty cool. Next we have a Mirror Force, obvious reasons. Clear your opponent's field, and then you can attack. And Soul Rope to help get out your Valkyrias and Kycoo and all that jazz. All it costs is 1,000 life points, so it's pretty cool. So yeah, that's basically my Spellcaster build. If you have any suggestions, I'm more than happy to take them. As long as they're not like add a Pot of Duality or something, then I'll be very likely to take the advice. Because I'll do whatever it takes to make this deck better. But it's already pretty good by itself, so unless you have really good ideas, it won't really help. But hopefully this will help you guys try to figure out your own possible lockdown builds. because I know that this one works for me. So yeah, thanks for viewing.